The Mega Dimension DLC is here, and some of these new Megas are ridiculously overpowered. They may have gone too far with a few of these, honestly. There are also some cases where they didn't go far enough. But we'll get to that later. Let's analyze the competitive potential and visual designs of all these new Megas. First up, we have Mega Absol Z. Yes, folks, Absol has another Mega Evolution, and it's a Z Mega Evolution, whatever that means. That's a new concept they've introduced. And Absol Nation, I think, is going to be very pleased about this. This one is an absolute winner, competitively speaking. Far better than the original Mega Absol. Its typing is Dark Ghost, which is really good offensively and defensively, with many beautiful immunities to take advantage of. And two great offensive types. The stats on this thing are absurd. It has 154 base attack, and the speed is the real kicker. 151 base speed is insane. That's faster than Zacian Crown. That's faster than Koraidon and Miraidon. I can't believe how fast this guy is and how hard hitting it is. Now, it is very frail with terrible HP and defense, but that's hardly a problem when you are this fast. With these stats alone and the typing, I would be very surprised if this thing wasn't an absolute menace in competitive play. And I'm sure it's also going to get a great ability. We don't know what ability it will get yet, but it almost doesn't matter with traits this good that are already known to us. Now, how do I feel about it from a visual design and lore perspective? Well, I'll be honest, Absol, the original, is not exactly my kind of Pokemon. I prefer silly Pokemon like Muck and stuff like that. But for people who like Absol, I think they'll be pleased with this. It's got a dark coat of fur and a claw tail thing coming out of its body, which is a pretty inventive idea, I'll give them that. The Pokédex entry says that using fur that it has made into a sharp claw-like shape, it cuts down foes with a single blow. This is an act of kindness to keep them from suffering. Everything about this is honestly giving off the vibe of a 2000s DeviantArt OC, which I think matches the vibe of Absol perfectly. Mega Absol Z looks like it's going to teleport behind me in an instant and say, "Nothing personnel, kid," before ending my life. Up next we have Mega Crabominable, who no one asked for. It's an interesting choice. Mega Crabominable appears to have grown some icicle fists for combat, which has enhanced its attack stat. It is also standing up on icicle legs now, making it more powerful. Regrettably, I do not think Mega Crabominable has a competitive future ahead of it. It does receive a nice attack boost up to 157, and some pretty good defensive boosts too, but being so slow, I think is a real death sentence. And you may think that this could be a good VGC Trick Room threat, but I feel like that'll be a crowded role. There's a lot of slowed, powerful Mega Evolutions that are better than Crab. I feel like there are comparable Pokemon to this that don't even take up the Mega slot, to be honest. The Pokédex says that it can pulverize reinforced concrete with a light swing of one of its fists, each of which is covered in a thick layer of ice. I gotta be honest, Mega Crabominable, in the Pokemon world, breaking some concrete is not that impressive. Ponyta can jump over the Eiffel Tower in a single leap, and that's not even a fully evolved Pokemon. You're gonna need to do better than this Crabominable to impress me, frankly. Concrete is nothing in the world of Pokemon. Muck could probably break some concrete. Rattata could probably find a way to break some reinforced concrete. You are going to need to do better than this. Not much to say about this guy, honestly. I feel like it's not a very good Mega Evolution. I apologize to Crabominable fans who are surely watching right now and are very upset. I think there were better candidates to give a Mega Evolution, and I don't think that they did anything particularly great with this one in terms of visual design or stat buffs. We'll have to see if it gets some broken ability. Maybe that could salvage it. But what we've been given so far is not promising. Up next we have Mega Staraptor, who I think was a great choice to give a Mega Evolution. It's a popular Pokemon, one of the more beloved Route 1 birds, and it actually has a pretty nice competitive history, and it feels unique compared to the other Route 1 birds with its solid move pool. And I think that this one has promise in competitive. Mega Staraptor has a new typing, a fighting flying typing. I think that alone will be a big selling point for this Mega. This is a much better type combo than normal flying. Mega Staraptor, of course, has stab close combat now to take advantage of. Offensively and defensively, this is an upgrade. In singles, this will be nice because fighting flying makes you neutral to rock, so you're not as worried about stealth rock. And Mega Staraptor also has a really nice stat increase across the board here. It has 140 attack now, which is very good. 110 speed and some decent balanced defenses. Now, a lot of Megas are more min-maxed and overturned, absurd speed and offensive stats, but I think this is a well-rounded stat distribution. Staraptor will be able to take some hits, and with its strong new typing and very good offensive move pool, I could see Mega Staraptor working in competitive. We'll have to see what ability it gets in the future. Even if it just still gets Reckless, I think that would be workable, or Intimidate, which is also very good. Visually, I like Mega Staraptor. It has longer wings, it's a silvery color. It looks a bit more physically threatening and imposing. I think they've done a good job, and the Pokédex says that Mega Staraptor is a top-class flyer. It can easily soar through the sky while gripping a Steelix that weighs more than 880 pounds. Now that is an impressive feat, comparable to Ponyta's skill set. In all regards, in visual appearance, competitive potential, and spectacle, they've done a good job with Mega Staraptor. I would go to the Mega Staraptor show and see him lift a Steelix into the sky. Wouldn't you? I'd buy a front row ticket for that one. Up next we have Mega Golisopod. This is one of the most talked about new Megas in the DLC for good reason. Golisopod appears to have become encased in metal, which reflects in its new type combination of Bug Steel, modified from Bug Water, and that is a big upgrade itself. Bug Steel is one of the strongest type combinations in the game. We've seen that with Scizor and Genesect, etc. in the past, so that's already promising, isn't it? And Mega Golisopod has a really great stat distribution. Its HP is 75, which is average but workable. Attack is an excellent 150. Defense is a whopping 175, its highest stat, and a very promising sign for its future. And even the special defense is excellent with 120. Speed is only 40, but that's totally fine with such an excellent defensive typing and defensive stats here. Mega Golisopod has serious potential as a bulky attacker, and it might even outclass the already excellent Mega Scizor, who it's clearly competing with. Now there is the concern of its potential ability, because Golisopod in its base form has the ability Emergency Exit, which is actually detrimental to it. It causes it to switch out forcefully if it's below 50% health, which really restricts your ability to act in many situations and is an awkward ability. But we can only assume that Mega Golisopod will achieve a different ability, and with any other ability really, I think Mega Golisopod will be excellent, even if it's just pressure or something boring. We know Mega Golisopod has First Impression in the moveset and U-Turn and other solid physical attacks. First Impression is the big one that will be amazing here. The fact that you can now Mega and lose the Emergency Exit ability also makes that ability in the base state a bit better, because early game maybe you could use that as a pivoting tactic, switch in, take damage, and then Emergency Exit out, like an eject button. But then later on you can Mega Evolve. Or you can choose to Mega Evolve early if the matchup is not going to be suited for the Emergency Exit pivot situation. It just adds a bit of flexibility that is interesting. Might also be awkward if you're trying to get Golisopod in and Mega Evolve it and then you're forced out by Emergency Exit. Might be a form of natural counterplay to the fella. Be interesting to see how this plays in a competitive context. The visual design I think is simple. It's similar to normal Golisopod, but it's metal now and it has little spike claws coming out the back. I think I like it. Golisopod was a great visual design to begin with, so you didn't need to change much, I think, to enhance it. It's simple, but it doesn't feel lazy either to me. I think this is a solid Mega design and a good choice for a Mega, because I've always liked Golisopod. I'm glad it will now be more competitively relevant in the future. The Pokédex says that it uses 4 of its arms to fiercely assail its foes. Once they've been pushed to the brink of defeat, it finishes them off with the arms it kept hidden. Mega Golisopod is not above using underhanded tactics to win in battle, and that's how you know he's going to be good and competitive. Up next is Mega Meowstic, which I think is a bit of an unexpected choice, but it's a cool one. I like Meowstic. The visual design is a very fun combination of both the male and female forms into a fused individual that is now floating and appears to have ascended, perhaps reached enlightenment. I like it. Competitively, I'm not so sure about Mega Meowstic. It's a mono-psychic type, And it does have some pretty significantly improved stats. 143 special attack and 124 speed. Really leaning into the fast special attacker role. Its special defense is also decent, 101. But I just can't help but think that Mega Alakazam is clearly superior. Same mono-psychic typing, but far better stats. There is the fact that in its base state, it can have Prankster. And Prankster's a great ability. Meowstic has some interesting utility options. But these stats, compared to Mega Alakazam, are not that impressive. So Mega Meowstic will need some sort of really good ability to justify its competitive existence, I think. The Pokédex entry says that Mega Meowstic can use its psychic power to compress or expand anything. It overwhelms foes by contorting space itself. That sounds powerful to me, so that could be hinting that this fella's ability will be something good, perhaps a unique ability made for it. We will have to wait and see, won't we? But overall, I like Mega Meowstic, I'm just not so sure about its competitive future. Up next is Mega Golurk, which is a cool one. I like Golurk, an underappreciated Pokemon. And this is a fun Mega design. It looks like it is powered up and is emanating an interesting ghostly spectral aura, suggesting that it is now more powerful. Its typing is the same, and its stats have received some decent increases. 159 attack is very good. Its defenses are also pretty significantly enhanced. 105 in each now, which is quite a lot better. I'm not so sure about the competitive potential of this though. Ground Ghost is a great typing, but I mean, base form Golurk has always had problems competitively, outclassed by other bulky grounds. Not so good with its low speed. Maybe Mega Golurk could be justifiable on VGC Trick Room teams. It is nice that it's immune to Fake Out. That's always good. And it is quite imposing with 159 attack. In singles, I think this fella has no chance at all, really. It's going to be a hog of the Mega slot, and it's not going to really achieve much. Similar problem to other slow offensive Megas like Mega Camerupt, I think. In VGC, this could have potential for the Fake Out immunity, nice stab types, spread moves, Trick Room synergy. I could definitely see that in doubles. We don't know the ability either. Base form Golurk gets no guard, which is a good ability. And that will be a decent one for Mega Golurk to copy, giving it the option of a perfectly accurate Dynamic Punch, perfectly accurate Rock Slide, which is probably relevant in doubles. You just want to be sure that Rock Slide lands, and other options too. Expands the possible move pool. It would be also nice if this got a cool new offensive ability of some sort. And the Pokédex entry for Mega Golurk reads, "The energy within Golurk has been stimulated by Mega Evolution. The Pokemon could explode at any moment." Goodness gracious. That's a frightening idea for Mega Golurk. Feels sympathy for the creature in this situation. Also might hint at the potential ability. Could it have something like Aftermath, an explosion effect after perishing from this mortal coil? Who knows? Who knows? Up next is Mega Glimmora. A Mega for a Gen 9 Pokemon. How intriguing. A pretty cool visual on this one with floating flower petals surrounding it as a shield. That's cool. Mega Glimmora has a nicely improved special attack stat, 150. It also has some attack now, which it previously didn't really. Base form Glimmora has 55 attack. Now it has 90 base attack, so it's got a usable attack stat. Also has higher speed, 101 speed, just above base 100, which is cool. And some superior defenses too. I gotta be honest though, I feel like this might be a case where the base form is more desirable than the Mega in competitive. Because base form Glimmora still has a really good special attack stat of 130 base, which is perfectly acceptable, while not hogging the Mega slot. The speed is definitely way worse, but Glimmora's job is to set hazards and be an aggressive lead usually. So it'll still be perfectly acceptable at doing that without needing this Mega. The increase to physical attack doesn't really seem that relevant. Glimmora doesn't really need the physical attack, and it's not even much. Base 90 is not that great. And neither is the bulk that relevant, because Glimmora is a sacrificial lead. It doesn't really need to survive for a long time. It's a very competitive singles-oriented Pokemon, and it works fine in competitive singles at its job. The Glimmora Mega doesn't feel like it'll be very much better than the original, and compared to other Mega special attackers, I think it's slower than many of them. 101 speed is good, but maybe not that good for a Mega. And Megas are known to have very high stats. This is a weird one that I feel like will actually be worse than its base forming in a competitive context. I don't know if this would ever even be used in doubles, maybe for its unique offensive type profile, if anything, but there are better special attackers to use in doubles, better megas. Glimmora is a very singles-oriented Pokemon. Might have a different ability of some sort, but that sounds bad because Toxic Debris is such a great ability already. So it would have to be even better than that. I would actually imagine that this still has Toxic Debris, because it seems so integral to the Pokemon's identity, such a unique ability. So I'm not sure about Mega Glimmora. The Pokedex for this says that Glimmora's petals, now larger and separated from its main body, rotate around it to provide defense while scattering poisonous fragments. That sounds like Toxic Debris to me, still. Maybe there's like a chip damage effect on top or something. You take some chip damage when you hit Glimmora now, as well as it spreading toxic spikes, perhaps? That would be pretty broken, actually. Up next is Mega Scovillain, who is probably the most disappointing new Mega in the Legend ZA DLC here. Mega Scovillain unfortunately suggests that probably in a future game Scovillain won't get a new evolution, because often if they give a Pokemon a Mega, they don't give it a new evolution later on. And for Scovillain, many thought that a new evolution would be a better fit on this. It kind of feels like a middle stage to begin with. But this Mega is just not very good, frankly. Its stats are average. They are sort of distributed randomly and aren't helping it very much. It has 138 attack and special attack now, which is, it would be good on a normal Pokemon, but on a Mega, this is no good, really. Its bulk still kind of sucks, and it's still very slow. The visual design is also kind of weak. It's got like some white scales on it, perhaps some dragonic scales, and it's got a chili pepper necktie on. This one's bizarre all around. It is not something that people really screaming for a Mega of, I think, and it is a bit of a curse on the future of what many thought was a pretty nice and promising Pokemon design in Gen 9 that had potential for a new evolution. This is a disappointment in every regard, really. And it's a shame. It's a true shame. The Pokedex says that Mega Evolution has dialed up this Pokemon's spiciness. It swings its necktie around to wallop its foes. Scovillain, I could have just got a Larjow from the market. I could have just gone and got a pepper from the market for you and wrapped it around your neck. Is this all that you're capable of with the Mega phenomenon? Is it materializing a chili pepper? This is not a rare commodity. I could go buy one from the store for you, Scovillain. This is all you could dream up? Come on now. Up next is Mega Tatsugiri, another Gen 9 Mega Evolution. And visually, I like this one. It's kind of cute. The Tatsugiris have cloned themselves, and each one seems to have a distinct personality. I enjoy when a Pokemon is three separate heads. I'm fond of that. Generally speaking, Dodrio and Dugtrio and other such examples. And now they're doing it with Mega Tatsugiri. The different colors of the sushi fish are also visually appealing, I think. Mega Tatsugiri, gotta be honest, kind of average stat distribution for a Mega. It's got 135 special attack, 125 special defense, average stats elsewhere. So I don't know about competitive potential, but it is sort of interesting. Tatsugiri's whole thing in VGC is that it gets eaten by Dondozo to grant Dondozo a stat boost. The ability Commander is what allows for this. So could Mega Tatsugiri have a similar concept? Maybe the base form could be used to feed to Dondozo, but then in other matchups you want to Mega Evolve to be a distinct individual Pokemon, and depending on what ability Mega Tatsugiri has, that could be better. This could be a case where you can run more than one Mega Stone on a team too, actually, because a Tatsugiri base version, if it's holding a Mega Stone, can still synergize with Dondozo in the same way, but in other matchups you could Mega Evolve and use that instead of your second Mega Stone, whatever that may be. So there's potential there in VGC just for an extra option to cover different matchups on a Dondozo team, I suppose, perhaps. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Can't see this being that great in singles though, but the flexibility that might offer in doubles is at least considerable. The Pokedex for this says that Tatsugiri's brain has been invigorated by Mega Evolution, making it even wilier. It can create and command copies of itself. This is visually self-evident, but thank you to the Pokedex professor for clarifying what we were all thinking. That's very good work from the Poke scientist there. Up next is Mega Chimecho, which I am quite happy with. Did not in my wildest dreams expect a Chimecho Mega Evolution, and the design visually for this is spectacular. Chimecho has grown a whole golden device that has emerged from it with little wind chimes coming off it that resemble itself. It looks very majestic, very creative, beautiful all around. And it has become a Psychic Steel type, of course, to reflect the new metal in its visage. And Psychic Steel, I would say, is a improvement over Mono Psychic for sure. The stats for Mega Chimecho are decent. They're well-rounded. 75 HP is workable, the defenses are good, and 135 special attack also okay. I am not sure about this in competitive. Psychic Steel can be a good typing, Iron Crown is a good Pokemon, but mostly this is not a great typing for modern Pokemon because of your vulnerability to Ghost and Dark type attacks. At least Mega Chimecho would be resilient to knockoff because it's a Mega and you can't knock off a Mega Stone, and it has the decent defense to stomach that probably. Chimecho at least sets itself apart from other Psychic-type Megas thanks to its utility move pool. It's got like Wish and Heal Bell and such options. Hopefully this gets a good ability, because I think Chimecho's ability is just Levitate. I guess Levitate would actually still be quite good on this. Now that I think about it, because of course you are erasing the weakness to ground that comes with being a Steel type. Mega Chimecho then could be comparable to Bronzong, couldn't it? I would err on the side of thinking that Mega Chimecho is not that great for competitive, but I could be pleasantly surprised depending on what they give it. And actually in doubles, Chimecho does have access to Trick Room, so that could be a nice reason for Mega Chimecho to exist in that context. A new Trick Room setup for the doubles world. And the Psychic Steel typing sets it apart from the usual Cresselia, as well as being a bit more specially offensively threatening with 135 special attack. That actually is kind of promising for Mega Chimecho doubles. Not so sure if it would be worth the Mega Slot though. Cresselia could probably do a similar job without taking the Mega Slot, and then you could use your Mega Slot on something more offensively powerful instead, but at least there's some reason for Mega Chimecho to exist in that context, we can say. The Pokédex says that it vibrates its entire body to attack in all directions using sound waves. Any who hear the vibrations get so confused, they forget who they are. My goodness. An amnesia-inducing and far more frightening creature than initially thought. This is a kind and altruistic-looking Pokemon that in fact inflicts serious psychic damage on those around it. I will be steering clear of Mega Chimecho in the future. Goodness me. Up next is Mega Raichu X, who we actually have known about for a while, but now we finally know its stats, so that's cool. Mega Raichu X, visually, I gotta say I don't really love, but I guess it's cool that it's flying. I mean, you gotta love classic Raichu. I don't think that this beats classic Raichu, or even Raichu Alolan, who I'm also fond of. Of all the Raichu and Pikachu variants, this one doesn't do it for me. I don't get the weird spiraling ears, the Uzumaki, trying to drive me insane. And the big X-shaped tail. It's completely subjective. Maybe you like it, folks, but something about this doesn't do it for me. But Mega Raichu X has some promise. They seem to be suggesting that this will get Levitate, which is always good on an electric type. It says in the Pokédex that it resembles an X as it flies through the air with 50 million volts of electricity sparking from its ears and forked tail. Visually it's flying, and there's a mention of it flying in the Pokédex. Suggests Levitate. And that would be really good. And its stats are okay. Actually kind of bad for a Mega. But it's more physical attack oriented with 135 physical attack. And a good 110 speed stat as well. I don't know, I mean, if you compare this to something like Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash doesn't have very good stats, but just being an electric type with Levitate does a lot of heavy lifting. And makes that Pokemon really good. Now that Pokemon also has water typing, Will-O-Wisp, and other good options. But I think if this has Levitate, it could be a decent, fast-ish offensive pivot that can hit the field nicely. It has pretty well-rounded bulk too for an offensive pivot of that nature. So I could see it being alright and competitive, at least usable. Maybe a little bit underwhelming on the offensive side compared to some other Megas, but electric typing with Levitate is just always a good combo, so that gives it some promise. And then we have Mega Raichu Y, of course, the counterpart. Mega Raichu Y resembles Pikachu a bit more with a bright yellow design. And I don't like this one that much either. What's with the weird ears? It gives off an AI generated feeling or something. Something about this doesn't gel with me. These Mega Raichus. I'm not so sure about them. The Pokédex says that Mega Raichu Y fires bolts of electricity from the tip of its tail and from the spiky tufts of fur growing out of its temples. This electricity forms the letter Y. How delightful. Or maybe not that delightful. Maybe that's rather uninteresting, actually. Mega Raichu Y has a far more impressive stat spread, I think, than Mega Raichu X, with an excellent 160 special attack and a also very impressive 130 base speed. Clearly a more special attacking variant, but even the physical attack is 100, which is usable. I think that these stats are good, even among Megas, and just off that alone, seems promising. This one not going to get levitate though. It is not flying. It is on the ground. And it's mono-electric. Mono-electric has its problems as a typing. But the stats are good. And remember, in doubles, this is probably going to be a menace because in Raichu's moveset it has Fake Out, which is always a sought-after option. And in its base state it has Lightning Rod, which can attract electric moves and give it a special attack boost too they can then take advantage of when it Mega Evolves. So it has the ability to shield allies, have the Fake Out utility. Raichu base form is used in doubles from time to time. So Mega Raichu Y, I think, would be a pretty damn good doubles Pokemon, probably. They probably designed it around that now that I think about it, given that it's a franchise mascot and all that, and doubles is the flagship competitive format. So they probably want Mega Raichu Y to be seen in doubles for marketing purposes. Anyway, up next we have Mega Heatran. Goodness me, look at this guy. With a big stomach and a big mouth, it's going to eat me. I think I like the design of it. It looks like a beast that I would see in a fantastical lava lair of an evil orc or something. I don't know. It does evoke something magical. A nice expansion on what I believe is already a great visual design. A bit of a hard guy to make a Mega for. I think they did a solid job here. They did good work. It is still a Fire Steel type, which is a great typing. And the stats are very promising here. It actually has a good attack stat of 120, mixed attacking potential, and the special attack stat is through the roof with 175 special attack. The defense still good, and special defense is 141 now. It has lost some speed, but I think that's the worthy sacrifice for the incredible stat increases it has received across the board. I would be surprised if this wasn't good and competitive in both singles and doubles. I mean, obviously this sounds insane as a Trick Room threat in doubles with Eruption on it and such. Heatran is already great for that, and this just seems even better. I mean, in singles, Heatran has also always been great. It's excellent move pool, well-rounded stats, nice defensive profile, Flash Fire. So Mega Heatran would be an extension of that, perhaps with a new ability that gives it something else to do, and just such a great special attack with the powerful Magma Storm for wall breaking. This one's a slam dunk. I think this is, of course, going to be viable in all competitive arenas. According to the Pokédex, it is said that if it goes all out, it can heat its body up to temperatures over 1.8 million degrees Fahrenheit. This heat keeps enemies at bay. That is a ludicrous temperature for Mega Heatran. Almost as powerful as Makago, who is hotter than the surface of the sun. You're almost there, Heatran. You're almost as powerful as Makago. Perhaps one day you will reach that level of excellence. Up next is Mega Darkrai, and I gotta say they are absolutely cooking with this visual. This is great. This looks like a Lovecraftian horror. Weird swirly tendril arms coming out. This is fantastic. They've really nailed this one. What does the Pokédex say here? Its dark power blocks out the sun, plunging the surrounding area into darkness. There is no escaping its evil eye. That's a good little bit of flavor. I enjoy that as well. I mean, this is a mythical Pokemon, of course. So this will probably end up in Ubers for the singles gamers. But it's a difficult one to evaluate because this is a Mega that loses its speed and gains defensive stats. It becomes a slow, bulky attacker, which is totally different to Darkrai's usual identity of being a fast, frail attacker. It gains a special attack boost of up to 165 base, which is very good, and its defenses are 130 each, which is also very good, but its speed gets lowered down to 85. I'm not sure what to make of this. I mean, I don't know if Mega Darkrai has the move pool to take advantage of that bulk. Mono Dark, I don't know if that's a great typing for a defensive Pokemon like this. It could be flexible to be able to gain defensive stats and live hits you otherwise wouldn't. But I'm not so sure that's going to be worth the Mega slot. The attack boost is interesting. It does gain 120 attack, 120 base attack now, allowing it to use options like Knock Off and Sucker Punch more effectively, which could be good. Could enhance its threat level. I would lean towards this being good just because Dark is such a good offensive type, and the bulk will make this perhaps more effective as a nasty plot boost sweeper. The high special attack and the spammable nature of Dark as a type bodes well, and then there's the Sucker Punch option as not only mixed coverage but priority to make up for your lower speed. So that does seem good, but it's definitely a weird one. It totally changes the identity of Darkrai from being fast and now being slow and bulky. Up next we got Mega Baxcalibur, another Gen 9 fella, and this guy's absolutely awesome. He's got the Excalibur sword sticking out of his back that you can only pull out if you are worthy to rule the Kingdom of England. I think I might know who has a shot. Mega Baxcalibur has very good stats, as you can imagine. It already has good stats as a pseudo-legendario. But now it's got an incredible 175 physical attack, enhanced defenses, enhanced HP. 115 HP is damn good. I mean, regular Baxcalibur is already literally banned in competitive singles. In an environment where you can't Terra, that might be different though, which I'm sure is in our future. But with these stats, I'm pretty sure this is going to be an incredible Pokemon, wherever it ends up. Will it have a sword-themed ability? We'll have to see. Maybe Sharpness. Can it use Sharpness very well? I don't think it actually has a good Sharpness move pool. Whatever it gets, it'll probably be a great Pokemon. For very straightforward reasons. It has high stats and a good Dragon Dance physical move pool and such. This one is a clear winner. Up next we have Mega Lucario Z. Another Mega for a Pokemon that already had a Mega and already had one of the best Megas. Mega Lucario is incredible. It's Uber's level. It's used in Gen 6 and 7 Ubers frequently. So it's kind of crazy that they gave a new Mega to a Pokemon that already had one of the best Megas. I gotta say, visually, I think that this is kind of a downgrade. It's a bit of a weird one. It's got a shark tail. I don't know why this has like little swirly bits at the end of the hair things. I don't like the way that looks. There's something strange about that. There's something off-putting about it. And Mega Lucario Z is more of a special attacking Lucario, with 164 base special attack, and a ridiculous 151 base speed, the same speed stat that Mega Absol Z also has. With such min-max stats, I mean, this is obviously going to be an insanely good Pokemon. There's no denying that. It feels a bit stupid though. It feels overtuned in a way that's not that interesting. I don't know what ability it's going to get. Normal Mega Lucario gets adaptability, which is extremely good. Maybe this will just get the same thing, which would be extremely good again. Whatever it gets though, it almost doesn't matter because the stats are just so absurdly overtuned that this will surely be an incredible competitive Pokemon. And the Pokedex for this says that by completely cloaking itself in its aura, Mega Lucario Z can parry all manner of attacks, battling as if it were gracefully dancing. Up next we have Mega Zeraora. Zeraora in its base state is already a great competitive Pokemon. I think Mega Zeraora seems even better. Zeraora is known for its insane speed stat, but now it's even higher with base 153, crucially even outrunning Mega Absol Z and Mega Lucario Z by 2 points. That's just an insane speed stat, and the offensive stats on this are unbelievable. 157 attack and 147 special attack. I don't even need to speak anymore because this is automatically insanely strong with stats like this. Its ability doesn't matter at this point. I mean, regular Zeraora was good with a 112 base attack stat. That's considered a good attack stat for a fast Pokemon. Mega Zeraora gives you the best of both worlds with ridiculous breaking power and high speed. I would go so far as to call this overpowered. This seems overpowered. The visual design seems to have some darker fur and a different color scheme. Other than that, it doesn't look that different. Many have pointed out that it resembles Luxray. That's true. It does resemble the color scheme of Luxray, which is an interesting choice. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with Luxray, but and yet it resembles the Pokemon. What does this say about our society? Something terrible, maybe. Something dreadful. Up next is Mega Magearna. This is what we needed, isn't it, folks? A buff for Magearna, one of the greatest Pokemon in Gen 7. Let's buff this one. They've gone and they've given Magearna even higher stats. It now has a usable attack stat of 125. 170 base special attack. It's also kind of fast now with 95 base speed. Its bulk is unchanged, but everything else got better. This is one of the strongest Megas in the whole game now, I think. I mean, with the Steel Fairy typing, one of the best typings ever. Plus a buff to a Pokemon that's already insanely good. I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the top Megas of all time. Especially if it keeps Soul Heart, which is an amazing ability that base form Magearna gets. This might even be a better Pokemon than Zacian Crowned. I'm not even kidding. It has a way better move pool. A special attacker is more threatening. It's got Shift Gear to boost up. And now it can actually use its attack stat off the Shift Gear boost, while also boosting its special attack with Soul Heart, presumably. It does take the Mega Slot, but if you're going to use the Mega Slot on something, this would be it, wouldn't it? This seems insanely overpowered. Holy. The visual, I will say, is pretty cool. I like the new color scheme. I like the floating gear around it and the weird ears. It's got new ears with some curvature. Looks like a slice of watermelon, perhaps. The Pokédex says, a mechanism to remove Magearna's limitations has lain secretly with Magearna for 500 years. This mechanism is triggered by a Mega Stone. That's some pretty cool flavor, I will admit. That's kind of fun. And finally, we have Mega Garchomp Z, a Pokemon that it actually kind of makes sense to give a new Mega, because the original Mega Garchomp was disappointing and not very good competitively. Makes sense to try again with Mega Garchomp Z, and they've created a Pokemon here that seems destined for competitive triumph. Mega Garchomp Z has insanely good stats. Most notably that same 151 speed that the other Z Megas all have. It also has an incredibly high 141 special attack on top of its great base 130 attack. So this is going to be a fast, mixed attacking Mega. And Garchomp fits with that perfectly, with its excellent move pool with plenty of special and physical attacks to take advantage of. These offensive stats wouldn't be that great on other Megas, but I think with that 151 speed, that'll make all the difference. That's a ludicrous amount of speed that will surely result in success for Mega Garchomp Z in competitive, in all arenas. Doubles, singles, whatever. The visual design, I gotta say, is kind of weird looking. I feel like it looks pretty similar to base Garchomp, but just with spikier arms. I guess that's what they do for many Megas, is just put spikes on the guy. So that's in line with prior design fundamentals for the Mega phenomenon. Give the guy some spikes and call it a day. I think visually I do prefer the original Mega Garchomp, who had a different set of arm knives and a slightly unique appearance. Mega Garchomp Z, a bit disappointing visually, I gotta say. But in terms of stats and competitive potential, it is excellent, of course. And the Pokédex entry for this one says that Garchomp has gained a new Mega Evolved form. It flies around foes at Mach speed and cuts them to shreds with its sinister wing claws. Now that right there could suggest Levitate as an ability, which would make this even better. Levitate is always good. Ground immunity is always good. So if this gets Levitate, that's crazy. And that's all the new Megas in the DLC, folks. Overall, I think this is an excellent set of Megas, mostly really good. Just a couple of ones that were a little disappointing. In particular, Scovillain, but overall, nice. And some were a bit overpowered to the point where it's almost unnecessary. And I might have rather seen a more underappreciated Pokemon get a new Mega, but with cool choices like Chimecho and Golisopod, I can't be too upset here with this set of Megas. What do you think though, folks? Do you agree or disagree with my assessment of these Megas in terms of their visual flavor or their competitive potential? You let me know down below in the comments, and thank you for watching.